This is going on to another video. Okay. It's bad because if you don't know about Jenny Rivera or care about Jenny Rivera, you're going to be like, Katrina, I don't like this. But you know what? You can always look at my artwork located behind me. Okay. Or you could look at Cosmo. Okay, anyhow. And I'm just going to change the music for a second, okay? One second. Yeah, so she was only 43 when she died. And she had 3 husbands. Alright? Good for her. You go, girl. But there's something about the husbands that I have to tell you. They had something in common. Hold up, hold up, hold up.
Yes, I really do.
What?
Thank God for this comfort.
Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so as you can see in this little circle, okay, it says Cheeky was the first. Cheeky is the first child. She had three girls and 2 boys. Pretty sure. Yeah. So she had with Trini, with the first husband, she had the abuser. She had Cheeky at 15. Then she had Jackie not too long after. I think Cheeky was 3 or 4. I'm not sure of the age difference. Okay. Then she had Jackie. And then she had Mike, all with the first husband, okay? I don't know how that happened. Then she was married to Juan, okay? Now, Juan was kind of a loser, all right? Now, why do I say that? All right, because he was. But he was very charming, and he came to her in a vulnerable time when she knew she was done with the other jerk-off. Sorry about that. Jenny says, don't worry about it. He was, and he is. Okay, so Juan Lopez, he had his own kids. I think he had 3 kids, and wasn't paying for them. Didn't really have a job. Yeah, never really had a job. Very, never really working. And the first one wasn't really working too hard either. He was putting in mufflers or filters in a car, and was always in a fight, and the boss kept demoting him. I think he just ended up cleaning out cars or whatever. And then Jenny brought him into her business with the real estate, which is really nice of her, but things did not get better. And he also cheated on her too, as well as beat her up and being abusive to the kids. He cheated on her. So it's like she did not know how to pick them. Okay? That's not a shade against you, Jenny. It's just the truth. Maybe because she was all over the place. She was very busy. She was working. She kept her job as a realtor, at the same time producing songs and going on tour, and doing all that, and a lot of times not getting paid. But then money started to go better for her, and she got involved with Juan Lopez. Didn't really go out with him a long time, and then he wanted to get married to her. So he was charming. So she thought, he's going to be good, and they had a lot of chemistry. Now, did he beat her up? No. He was not did he abuse the kids? No, but towards the end, you never really saw him taking care of the kids. In the beginning he did, but maybe he felt like he was a house husband. Maybe he felt like he was, she would always call him, you are Mr. Jenny Rivera, okay? And he kind of was, and sometimes it worked out, but most times it didn't work out, because then he wanted a job, and so her brother, Jenny's brother, gave him a job. And then he started cheating with somebody, like in the file cab, in the closet room, or he's cheating on her. Let's just put it that way. So what does she do? She gets mad. They have fights. They have horrible, terrible, awful fights. Now, she fought so much with the first one. I always look at it like, I had so many fights with my first husband that I said, if I ever did get married or just even a relationship, I want it to be chill. I want it to be easy peasy, grab and squeezy. Okay, I just made that up. All right, because I don't have any more energy for fighting and violence and screaming and yelling, putting people down. No, that doesn't mean we don't have arguments or fights. We do, but we shut it down fast because neither of us want that this time around. Okay, I'm so surprised that in her second and her third marriage there was the same kind of volatile, yelling and screaming, and a lot of times she wanted to get out of it, and she wanted to get out of the first marriage, and people were talking her out of it constantly because she wasn't admitting to him beating her up, just maybe that he cheated on her. But he was mostly saying that she cheated on him, being a gaslighter, on transferring everything that he did wrong onto her. Okay? So, she was with Juan Lopez for a while. I don't know how many years. I'm not good with my notes in that area, but by 2010, she was on to her third marriage, divorced from Juan Lopez, and her third marriage in 2010 was only 2 years long before she filed for divorce with a baseball player, Esteban. Okay, now, a lot of people think that he was the one who's involved in drugs. I'm not sure. I'm going to do the cards on it, but the first husband, I believe, is still in jail. Second husband, Juan Lopez, went to jail for drugs. Okay, so he was abusing drugs. They didn't really show that in the video, in the movie. At least I never saw it. You saw him cheating. You saw him fighting. You saw him, I don't know. They really did seem like they had a lot of passion together. But then he was saying that she doesn't talk to him anymore. She just, what it is? She looked at him without respect. She didn't respect him anymore. He wasn't bringing anything to her table. And he was like a freeloader. And he didn't seem to be taking care of the kids too good either. So anyhow, they said that Juan Lopez went to jail for drugs. Okay, selling drugs, buying drugs, what have you. And died of pneumonia. He's dead. He's gone. Okay? So she gets, I don't know what year he died, okay? But he did go to jail for drugs, did get pneumonia, but it was after they were already divorced, okay? I really got to cut this neck a little bit because it's making me... Okay, so, baseball player Esteban. In 2010, they get married. They have the big, huge wedding, right? That was the only wedding that I saw her have. I know that she had 2 other weddings, but they didn't really show. I couldn't find any video on the other ones. So they have a big wedding, and you do see the mother and father together, even though the father was always cheating on the mother, and the mother wanted to get a divorce. I don't know if they got a divorce and got back together in 2010 for the wedding, or they just put up with each other. Who knows? Maybe he changed his ways and, stopped fooling around. Who knows? So the third husband, number 3, is Esteban. He's a baseball player. Now, I was able to watch... Why is...
You power through chronic migraine.
I'm sorry.
15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Hold on a second.
Prevents headaches in adults with chronic...
Sorry. So many commercials on my iPad. Anyhow, So in 2010, they get married, have the big, huge wedding, okay? Jenny goes away to do a gig and somehow finds out that her daughter, her own daughter, the oldest daughter, Cheeky, is having an affair with her husband, a third husband, okay? So by this time, if Jenny was, now we're going to do the math. If Jenny was in 2012, how old was Jenny? Okay, she was 43. Okay, so 43 take away 15 is how old her daughter was at the time, because she had her when she was 15. Okay, so 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry about my little... Oh, so her daughter was 28 friggin' years old. Wow, Cheeky was 28 years old. And there was an admission that this happened. So at the time of Jenny's accident, she was not talking to Cheeky. She actually changed her will and put all her kids, like, if anything's to happen to me, I want my sister Rosie to take care of my other 4 kids. Whereas Cheeky had been the executor of her estate prior to that happening. So she puts in the paperwork to get a divorce after only 2 years of marriage because of, hey, he's sleeping with my daughter. I don't think so. Okay? That's where I draw the line. All right? That's messed up on both their parts. So, you know, but I think that Jenny was talking in an interview right before she went on the last plane trip, and she said she was thinking about her daughter, Cheeky. And so I think by saying I'm thinking about her meant that she was going to come around to forgiving her, because, you know, that's her blood. That was her number 1 girl, you know. I felt like they had a lot of ties together, a lot of they had a lot of lifetimes together, I felt. Like where Cheeky was her mom and Jenny was the daughter. Because sometimes that's how they acted, you know. Cheeky was given a lot of responsibility. Look, she was sexually abused. She watched her cousin be sexually abused by her father. She watched her mother go through 3 marriages. She had to take care of her sisters and brothers. You know, her sister and brothers. Yeah, she only, 1 sister, Jackie, and brothers. Okay. So, yeah, that's a lot of responsibility to put on somebody. Anyhow, in that marriage, also with Esteban, there's a whole bunch of fighting, as per usual, a whole bunch of fighting, a whole bunch of cheating by both sides. Now, Jenny usually was never a cheater, but when she got, I guess maybe when she got to the news of what was going on with, you know, her daughter, her own flesh and blood, 28-year-old, maybe she flipped and she said, you know, that guy is not for me. But when let me tell you what I saw intuitively. Okay, and I'm sorry if you don't like this style where I'm talking, but I also have the cards and I'll get around to it. So I have to do my process because I did a lot of research and I mixed the research with my intuitive feelings. So when I was watching their video of their wedding, it's really good for me because I could put my hand on the screen, on my iPad, and I could feel the energy. I did not like, and it was really him and Jenny and the family and the parents, everybody. It was really them. It's the real wedding. So I guess it was televised. Anyhow, I did not feel a strong... I was and I stopped. Okay? Okay, so I did not feel in his face, he thought she looked beautiful, and she did. She's gorgeous, Jenny Rivera. But it was just like a he had a placid facade, like, just like, not smiley, not sad, just like, kind of like, not I don't want to say dead inside, but just like unexpressive. Like, I didn't see, like, I saw them at an interview too, and they were talking, and she, I mean, she's the life of the party. She was like, you know, the go-getter, the, you know, talkative one. But he had a career in baseball. But it was almost like it reminded me of Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio. But even that, it was, you know, Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio at least had some oomph, you know. They didn't make it past 9 months, but this was just like, it was flat. It was almost like, oh yeah, get married to Jenny Rivera, and, you know, maybe he felt some sort of love, some sort of way, but then he was like, this isn't what I want. You know, like, she's gone, and I'm just like here with all these kids that aren't mine, and it's weird. You know, like, but I just didn't feel like a strong connection. I felt like she wanted that big wedding. She wanted to say, I want the win, you know. I want to come out on top, wear that white dress, and this time I got it right, you know, number 3, I got it right. But right away, I think she felt it, he felt it, maybe even before he started cheating with Cheeky, okay, allegedly. And this is all for entertainment reasons only. If you don't like me or believe in me, you don't have to watch me, okay? You don't have to put a nasty comment down in my inbox. And that's another thing. Anybody who puts nasty comments about, oh, you know, I should erase my Shanann videos or anything, anytime I channel Shanann or my mediumship or any videos about Shanann or anybody, I'm not even going to answer you this time. I'm going to block you, and I'm going to report to YouTube, okay? So don't even try, okay? Just don't watch me if you don't like me, okay? This is me doing my channel. I don't hurt anybody, and I use my guides to help me. So if you don't like me, you just want to hate on me, this isn't the channel for you. This is a Zen channel, okay? Namaste. All right? Don't hide behind God bless you. All right? Don't hide behind that, because that's not, don't say God bless you and not mean it. Okay? So, Jenny Rivera, okay? She's like, get back to me. Get back to me. I will. Okay, so there was clashes and lying and cheating and always fighting going on with number 3, with Esteban. Okay? Now, when I was doing this, and I'm going to read it to you straight, I started to, as I'm writing this and I'm thinking about her and I'm trying to put things together, because I have questions from my subs that want to know in my emails about things with the drug cartel, Mexican cartel, and I don't know. So what I do is I ask the guides, I ask Jenny, I don't hear a strong voice from her, but she's very funny, and she gives me some indications, but it's almost like she wants me to figure things out for myself. It's not going to be easy. She's like, I didn't have it easy, so you're not going to have it easy, okay? But she likes that I'm doing it, because she's like, a lot of people, not enough people want to learn about my story. And she almost wishes, with her Netflix series, she said to me, I almost wish, you know, I appreciate that there's a Netflix series that's really long, but I think I could have captured more women, more children, more people, attention with one big show, like a Lifetime 2-hour show. That's it. Okay? And that could be an idea for Lifetime, because she wants to get across to many people that don't accept even that first slap. You have a first slap, you should be out. Go to a safe place. She could have went to her parents' house. And she did go there. She did run to her parents a lot, but sometimes she left the kids with him, not knowing that he was abusing them. Okay, so it's not, she goes, it is on me, but it's not on me. She goes, I want people to learn from my life. I want people to learn from my story. I don't want my children, my 5 kids, to in any way extend that story. Okay? To be aware of the red flags and to not accept a crumb when you can have the cake, when you deserve the cake. Okay. And the words too. She wants me to say the words. Okay. When somebody speaks bad words to you, no, you shouldn't go to school, you shouldn't go to college, you shouldn't study for that, that test. She goes, all those words I've heard. And she goes, when they're saying that, they don't love your soul. They don't love you. They might say that they love you. It's because they love you. They want to be with you. But if they want to suffocate you and just have you as they just want to have you as this. They just want to own you and have you to themselves. Okay? That's not love. Thank you for that, Jenny. I said, are you at peace in my head? And she said, I'm trying to get there. But she said, I'm still in a process. I'm still processing. I said, do you see, are you in heaven? She says, I'm in the galaxy. But she feels unsettled because she was so young. And because of her 5 kids. I don't want fighting. She goes, I don't want fighting. There was some beef, I think, between Rosie and Cheeky, who they were so close. And she goes, Katrina, money ruins a lot. You think money, you try to work so hard to get money. She goes, just like my dad, try to get money, that's going to solve everything. It doesn't solve everything. It makes a lot of other problems. Sometimes a simpler life is better. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, money makes it more complicated. Okay, so, okay, so the thing that came to me that I had to write down in a different color pen, in a different color marker, was if you have angel and resentment, retaliation, I don't even understand what it means. Okay? Sometimes I do automatic writing when I'm taking notes on a case, on a person that I'm trying to figure out. It says if you have angel and resentment, retaliation, the evil wins. If you have forgiveness, you get forgiveness, love, and therefore peace. Okay, I don't understand it yet. All right? I think I meant if you have any, and I write things at night. I do this like sometimes 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So I think I meant if you have anger and resentment in your heart. If you have anger and resentment in your heart, you're so resentful that person ruined your life, or you feel like they took from you, or they hurt your kids, even that. But if you keep that in your heart and you're resentful and you just want to beat the crap out of them and you just want to get back at them and have retaliation, then the evil wins. Then the evil will win, okay? I think that's what they were trying to tell me. If you have forgiveness, on the other hand, if you have forgiveness, you get forgiveness. Because we all mess up. We all do something. We have all done something in our past, including myself. Of course, including myself. But we want forgiveness. We ask God for forgiveness. My mom used to always say, if you did something wrong, don't just go to sleep and expect to sleep. If you did something wrong, say you're sorry to the person you did it to. And if you can't see them, say you're sorry to God. and try to never do it again, and really be sorry. And in your head, say you're sorry to that person if they're not there. Okay? So that even goes with people who've passed over. And then you can get forgiveness. And then also somebody hurt you. And even if they're not sorry, like I was always waiting for my father to say, oh, I'm so sorry that, I tried to hurt your mom with a baseball bat, and I hit you guys with a belt, and, I was an embarrassing drunk, and, a lot of bad things happen. I'm sorry about that. He never said that. He never said those words. Those words were never said. The only words he ever said was, that came a little bit close to, I guess that's what he meant, was, I never did anything wrong. I love you and your mother. I love my 6 kids. And your mother was the only woman I ever loved. They got divorced, and neither one of them ever remarried or even had a girlfriend or boyfriend. Anyhow, he said, I never did any drugs or anything like that. I just drink a little beer. I drank a little beer. That's all. But like my mother always said, he had a disease. When people have a disease, you have to forgive them in your heart. You don't have to bring them next to you if you don't want to, but you have to forgive them in your heart. And say, please God, help them. They have a disease. They have a sickness. They have an illness. Anyway, my point is, this was a direct message that I got. And so when I was writing my Jenny notes, so she's learning that, because you can't have any resentment. And so, like, if you have resentment in your heart, it eats away at you. It eats away at other relationships that you try to have. Okay? And retaliation, forget about that. If you could sit at a table and say, I don't want to hurt anybody out there, even though they stole, $5,000 from me, or they took my boyfriend, or they took my girlfriend, or they took my house, or whatever it is. If you could sit at a table and say, or lay in your bed and say, I don't want to hurt another person in this world, then that's pretty good, okay? It's hard to do it, okay? Because we're human beings, and we have all kinds of emotions, and we have anger. So, for what it's worth, the message I got from her was, or my guides, is if you have anger and resentment, retaliation, anger, resentment, retaliation, then evil wins. If you have forgiveness and love, or try to have peace, then you get forgiveness for the things that you have done wrong. And you get love, and therefore peace. That's what it says. I don't really talk like that. You get, because it's not grammatically correct. As an English teacher, it's not grammatically correct. But, when I'm writing and automatic writing starts happening, stemming from something else, that's what happens. Okay. So, I just have one more page. All right, so in 2008, there was some sort of sex tape, but I don't really know anything about it. So, it could be like a, Kim Kardashian type deal. I think it was put under the rug. There was something to do with money laundering, but not directed with her, but she did have to pay something extra for the IRS, because I say IRS, all right? After her first gig, her first real gig where she actually got paid, there was somebody in the audience, some older man that was like trying to get with her. And she, rebuked him and didn't want anything to do with him. And he actually raped her out in California. Okay? She blamed herself. She didn't tell anybody. She very close with her mom. She didn't tell her mom. She didn't tell her dad. She kept a lot of pain inside. Okay? She blamed herself. You know, a lot of people who are victims of crimes, they blame themselves. Somehow I must have asked for it. Somehow I must have not said no enough, you know, strongly enough. Maybe he thought I meant yes. But he raped her. Other people watched it in the car, in the back of a van. And then she lived through it. So good for her, because she could have gotten killed and then left for dead. So she survived. She just stayed numb, let him finish doing whatever he was doing to her. She said no, and he punched her and stuff. But she never told anybody. I think it was in her book. She told people in her book. But I think that book, Unbreakable, came out in 2012, the same year she died. I think. I have to find... Can I have one of my subs do the fact checks on that? Maybe for a Vello Butterfly, but no. Okay, so she tried to numb the brutality, and she did like her shots of tequila. She did drink, but she had no issue. She had no drinking problem. As far as I researched, I didn't see a drinking problem or a pill problem. She did try to kill herself. I think it was around age 17 when her daughter was 2 years old. She couldn't take the abuse from the father of her kid. And mental abuse, physical abuse was terrible. But as far as I researched, there wasn't a strong drinking or drug problem. Okay, she did like to eat, but she was always trying to lose weight because she felt like a chubby person. But then finally, people were embracing her body, almost like a Marilyn Monroe. But Marilyn Monroe was only a size 12 at her biggest. Okay, anyhow, she was representing empower yourself, embrace your curves. And she liked that about herself. Okay, so a man she was involved with, he was very powerful, but then he stopped protecting her. Then all of a sudden, he was powerful, he was helping her to be protected from whether it be people in the music business, people where she was like performing at. There's a lot of strange dudes and a lot of strange people that were ruthless. You know, you see all the murders in the rap industry. Same thing with this. Okay. First husband beat her, sexual abuse on the daughters, and her sister Rosie. I already talked about that. Okay, so yeah, so somebody named LaBobby, I'm not sure if that was